we know that there are other considerations for our community. And some of that is around how effective the vaccine actually may well be for them. So the government has committed to funding research that's needed into this area, and a study called Octave has been set up. We at Blood Cancer UK are very aware that the spread of blood cancer conditions within Octave isn't as broad as it needs to be. So we are working with a number of different researchers to bring together a network to try and explore that, and to ensure that there are studies set up across all blood cancers to get the data that we need to be able to answer some of those questions. We're also ensuring that we're bringing the priorities of our patient community into that conversation and using that data to answer some of those questions. And we'll use that to shape some of the work we need to do around recommendations for long-term effective protection for our community as well. But I want to come to you, Andy, actually, to just get your perspective on why these studies and the research into effectiveness is so important, and what you're hoping to see from them over the next few months.
The key question, as we've already discussed, really, is to have a better understanding of how well COVID vaccines work in different clinical situations in patients with different diseases at different points in their treatment and after different treatments and so on. So to do this, we need research that tackles this problem. So we need to get at the end point here, which is the clinical effectiveness of vaccines in different situations. That's quite a hard thing to get at directly. So what these studies are doing is really looking at the immune responses to COVID vaccines. So they're asking the question: how do COVID vaccines stimulate different parts of the immune system in different situations? So we know that the effectiveness of the immune system against COVID is a complex business. It can involve antibodies, it can involve other parts of the immune system, T cells, etc. We don't know which of those elements of the immune system is most important in protecting us against COVID. So those studies are ongoing, and hopefully before too much longer we'll start to understand that a bit better. But in the meantime, it's really important that we do these studies in patients with blood cancer to understand how the vaccines affect the immune system. How they affect the B cell responses that produce antibodies, the T cell responses that provide a slightly different type of protection. And then by putting those bits of information together, we should be able to deduce how effective vaccines are in different clinical situations. So it's quite complex, and it's going to take a little while, but at the end of the day, it should help patients with difficult decisions that they have to make to do with how to avoid how much emphasis to place on mitigation strategies to avoid catching coronavirus, or even how to modify their cancer treatment to minimize the risks of COVID and so on. So without these studies, we're just working in a knowledge vacuum. So it's really important that we get this information and make sure that the collection of studies that are mapped out are successful. So we need to make sure that they get up and running as quickly as possible, and that they recruit effectively, and that the data is generated and analysed at the earliest opportunity, and also pulled together. So there's an opportunity here for researchers in different areas to combine their data and produce more power to the research that they do. So all of that's ongoing.